Hey, what's up? It's Peter and Jason, and we are going to play a game of Factions Battlegrounds to 25. Normally we play to 30, but today we're going to play to 25 points.
So I'll be playing with the Parada faction.
And I'll be playing with the Zermano faction. We start off the game by rolling the die to see who gets what advantage.
All right.
Had a tie. All right, so
he's choosing.
I get to choose, and I'm going to take the terrain tile advantage, which means I get to place one more terrain tile than Jason, and I can place any of my terrain tiles in any of these 9 spots. So I'm going to start off right here, right close to my base camp.
All right, so I'll start off right here close to my base camp as well.
Let's go over to the corner here.
All right, I'll place one right here in the middle, trying to control that center section.
Nice. Over here.
I'll go here on the side.
I'll keep the side. I'll try to keep the side over here.
Box me in with the water, and then I'll go in this spot here.
And I'll go over here for a little safe area back here.
All right. So Peter has 5 terrain tiles, and I have 4. So my advantage is I get to place the resources first. So we have a gold mine, so you can pay for units, and then also a mana pool, so you can pay for spells that you cast. So I'll place the gold mine there, mana pool there. They're always in opposite corners of each other. And I'll grab the other 2. And then you always place the opposite resource in the same row, and there's 2 spaces in between. So I have gold and mana here, and I have gold and mana here.
Now what we get to do is select our Vanguard, which is the units we start the game with. Units always enter in the base camp and then move on to the board. You get to start the game with up to 10 gold worth of units, and you have to start with a minimum of 5. So if you start with less than 10 gold worth, whatever additional gold you have, you would actually begin the game with. So I'm going to choose the Savage Cyclops for 6 gold. And I'm also going to choose the Gnome Pyromancer for 3 gold, and that's all. So that's a total of 9 gold, which means I will start the game with 1 gold.
Alrighty, so I get to choose second to react to what Peter just purchased. So I'm going to purchase the Aloco Marshal for 5 gold, and then the Centaur Scout here for 3 gold, and that will drop me down to 2.
So now what we do is we begin the battle. Basically, we look for the unit with the highest rank. My highest rank that I have is a 3 from the Gnome Pyromancer.
My highest rank is a 4, and that's that top number on the card. So I'm going to move my Aloco Marshal onto the board. So I'll move 1. And when you hit the board, that counts as one of your movement numbers and spaces, which is that second number on the card. And I'll move to the right for 2. After the unit's done moving, you're going to put this red token on, and that's the end of activation tokens. And that way, both players know that the unit's done with their activation.
So now we both have a unit with a rank of 3. However, Jason has a captain, which means that he would break the tie, and that yellow banner symbol next to the first number there indicates if you have a captain or not. All right. So Jason gets to move his Centaur Scout before my unit.
So I'll move that Scout right onto the board. So the Scout has a movement of 3, so I'm going to move forward 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to land on that resource center, so that gold mine is all mine. So I'm going to take the center gold mine, and that actually gives me 2 gold right away. So I'll generate 2. That puts me up to 4 gold.
Good move. Now I get to move my gnome. Units can come out on one of the 2 spaces adjacent to the base camp. So I get to choose which one. The gnome is not a very good fighting unit, so I'm just going to be kind of tentative and move it just 1 spot. Even though it could move 2, you don't have to move it its full movement for it to activate. Finally, I'll get the Cyclops lumbering on the board. That is a good fighting unit, so I'm going to go 1, 2, and see what happens.
I get a little beef on the board.
Yeah.
All right, so that will now end the round, and we will add up our resources here.
Yeah, typically at the end of the round, there's what's called the reinforcement phase, where players could recruit a new unit, but neither Jason and I have that much gold, so we're not going to do that this time. So I'll count up my resources first. I get 1 gold, because you get 1 gold no matter what for being the general of your army. I get an additional gold because the Cyclops generates 1 gold while it's on its home tile. And I get mana because the gnome generates 1 mana when it's on its home tile. So I get a total of 2 gold and 1 mana. That puts me at 3 gold and 11 mana.
Nice. So I'll get 1 gold for the scout, 1 gold for the marshal, 1 gold for myself as the general, and then also 2 gold for this gold mine that I have here. So that'll give me 5 gold, and I am up to 9. So we'll remove these tokens.
And now we start the second round, and it starts the same way. You just look for the unit with the highest rank, and since there's no new units on the board, it's obviously going to be Jason.
Back to the marshal, so it flows from there. So I'm going to move the marshal forward 2 spaces, so I'll move 1 and 2. Put a token on.
All right, I think I see what you're trying to do here.
And then, you know what? I'm going to get a little aggressive here. So I'm going to move my Centaur Scout forward.
Okay.
So anytime you are adjacent to a unit, you can make a melee attack. And so the attack icon is that, that third icon there, which is a sword, and that number. So even though I can't eliminate his Cyclops, I can do 2 damage to it because he has a health of 5, and I have attack of 2. So I'll swing for 2 damage there.
Nice. So now it is my gnome's turn to activate, and I will move up. The gnome is a spellcaster, which is indicated by the blue text down here. This gnome is able to cast a spell. All spells are described on the faction overview, as are all abilities, which we'll get into in a little bit. My gnome has a Fire Orb spell, which costs 3 mana, so that puts me down to 8 mana. It has a range of 2. Which means it can cast it up to 2 spaces away, and you can count spaces diagonally if they're on your home terrain, just like movement. And it does 2 damage. So I can cast this Fire Orb 1 space, 2 space. You can cast them over water. And that will do 2 damage to the Centaur Scout, which will be enough to eliminate it. So I'll make him pay a little bit for getting aggressive. So
it happens.
It's eliminated from the game. That means I receive 3 points because you receive points equal to what the unit's gold value is. So I get 3 points. I'm on the board first. First blood.
First
there we
blood.
Go. Now my Cyclops is the next unit to activate in the last unit of the round. I'm going to lumber up here, keep pushing forward, and move 1, 2 spaces. I'm going to take Jason's gold mine from him. When that happens, when the resource center changes hands, you get the bonus right away. So I will get 2 gold right away. That puts me up to 5. And now that will end our round.
Alrighty, so add up resources. I'll get 1 gold for the marshal, 1 gold for myself.
So I get 1 gold again for being the general of the army. I get 2 because you get to count the gold bonus or the resource bonus at the beginning of the round. And then that gives me a total of 3 gold. I do not get a gold for the Cyclops because it's not on its home tile. It's on Jason's tile, so I do not get that resource bonus, but I do get 1 more mana. Puts me at 9 mana, and that puts me at 7 gold. I'm sorry, 8 gold. All right.
All right, let's remove them.
Let's remove these check marks.
And we start a new round. I gotta get a little bit more aggressive here. So I actually am going to purchase a unit. And that's the other time you can purchase a new unit is any time before a unit activates. So my marshal will be going first. I'm gonna purchase the Centaur Striker for 5 gold, and that will drop me down to 6. So the marshal actually can attack here. So he actually has an attribute called range, and that's that brown bow right next to his attack number. So he has a range of 2, so I can attack from 2 spaces away. So I'm actually gonna shoot the Cyclops and do 2 damage to him.
I think I see.
Boom.
This is gonna hurt.
And I gotta get a little bit fancy here, so I'm actually gonna use an ability. So you have not seen an ability yet. So the Centaur Skirmisher, which has a rank of 3, also has an offensive ability called Versatile, and you'll see that on the red text on the card, but also on our overview. So I'm gonna move the Skirmisher up 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3. And then for his Versatile ability, he can attack from range 2 spaces away, eliminate that gnome.
Yeah, that's 1 health against 2 damage, so there's Jason's on the board there.
So that's a kill for me, and then he can also do a melee attack after that to the Savage Cyclops, coming in for the big round here.
Yeah, that's a lot of points.
That's a huge swing. That gives me 9 points.
Very, very well done. All right, that's tough to recover from, but just because I have no units on the board in factions, it doesn't mean that you're out of the game. If I was unable to play a unit for 2 whole rounds, then the game would be over, I would lose. However, the second time when you can recruit units is at the very end of the round, and that's called the reinforcement phase. So when every other unit has moved, both of Jason's units have activated. I can recruit units if I'd like. Jason could as well. I'm going to go ahead and recruit 2 units. I'm going to recruit the Blizzard Elemental, which costs me 6. That'll put me down to 2 gold. And then I'm going to use my last 2 gold on the Dwarf Warrior, which will put me down to 0. So now these units get to actually activate within the same round. So what I'm going to do is, and they both have a rank of 2, so I can choose which one I would like to move first. I'm going to use the Blizzard Elemental. Now the Blizzard Elemental has flying, which means that it can fly over other units and water spaces as well. So what I'm going to do is move 1, 2 diagonal, and it's in the air flying, and then I'm going to move 1 more spot, and then I'm going to land, which doesn't cost a movement point or anything like that. So it had a movement of 3, so I moved 1, flew over this for 2, and then 3, and I'm going to land, and I'm going to use my Blizzard spell, which costs 7 mana, which will take me down to 2 mana. That does 3 damage to an adjacent tile. So this tile is considered adjacent, and it would do 3 damage to each of these spaces. So 3, 3, 3, 3. There's only 1 unit that takes the damage, and it's the Aloco, and 3 damage is enough to kill it. So that would give me 5 points, striking back a little bit. And now I'll just get my Dwarf on the board. 1, 2. All right, so that ends the round then. All right, so the score is 9-8. Jason has a very slight lead, and we are now going to count up our resources. I get 2 for the gold mine, 1 for the round, and 1 for the dwarf for golds. So that puts me right back up to 4, and then I do get another mana, which puts me at 3.
Nice. I get 1 for the skirmisher and 1 for myself. That puts me up to 8 golds. So I'm sitting where I want to be. So we're going to see how this next round shakes out, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll start this thing off. I have the highest rank right now. I'm actually gonna purchase, actually, you know what? I'm gonna wait.
All right.
I'm gonna wait. So I'm gonna start with the Centaur Skirmisher, because Pete eliminated my captain the last round. I'm gonna move over 1, and then again, you can attack diagonally on your own home terrain, and this Skirmisher has a range attack. So I'll shoot 1, 2, and kill that elemental.
Fortunately for me, the Blizzard Elemental has an ability where it is immune to range.
Yeah.
So, a little miscalculation by Jay, but that works really well in my favor. So that's great news for me. So what I'm going to do with the Blizzard Elemental is, so Jason also has an ability called Skirmish, which means if I were to land in a spot adjacent to him, to the skirmisher, I would get attacked immediately. So we're actually at a little bit of a stalemate right here because we both have some defensive abilities. So what I'm going to do, and I would get attacked there too because it would be a legal attack for Jason. So I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to remain flying in the air.
All right.
And my dwarf is going to plop into the water. So as soon as you move into a water space with a unit that can't fly, basically your activation just ends. You can't attack or continue moving or anything like that. So that ends the round.
So I am going to purchase a unit. So I'm going to purchase the Minotaur Chieftain. So he costs 6. That's going to drop me down to 2. And so he also has a rank of 4, and he's just going to move onto the board. I'm going to go 1, and then 2, and then end his activation there.
All right. So Jay's got definitely some rank advantages here, so I'm gonna have to try to figure that out going forward. So now we get to count up the resources. I get 1 for being the general of the army, 2, and then 3, 4, because I still control that gold mine, and so that puts me up to 8 gold, and I pick up 1 mana, which will gradually get me up to what I need, which is 5, and that's an important number for me. So
I will generate 1 gold for the chieftain, 1 for the skirmisher, 1 for myself. That's going to put me up to 5.
Excellent. And the rank still is with Parada, big time.
So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to move up 1 to claim the gold mine, and then push back 1 diagonally.
Nice.
So that's going to move me up to 7 gold. And then I'm going to move the skirmisher over 1 to claim the corner mana pool. So I'm going to play a little bit defensively here for a round and see what Pete's going to do.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad move. That kind of affects me a little bit. So, all right, on the Blizzard Elementals activation, I'm going to recruit. I'm going to drop down to 3 gold and recruit the Zermano Battle Mage, which costs 5. It has a rank of 4. So even though it's the Blizzard Elementals activation, the Battle Mage has a higher rank. So the cycle is very continuous or very fluid. So the Zermano Battle Mage gets to activate before the Elemental now because it has the highest rank on the board. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and I'm going to use the spell Ice Missile, which will put my mana down to 0. This spell has a range of 4 and can do 2 damage. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and knock out the Skirmisher for 5 more points for me. There's a check there. Now the Blizzard Elemental is going to go 1, 2, and I'm going to land here. And I'm actually going to attack the Minotaur Chieftain physically for 4. I'm probably going to lose my Elemental because it doesn't have a lot of hit points. But I'm making my move right now. I'm trying to take over the game right now. And then the Dwarf Warrior is going to head right up here and get this corner gold mine. So I get 2 gold there. Even though I flew over Jason's Jason's gold mine, I do not get it because I have to actually physically land on it. So I flew over it and did not claim it. But I do get 2 gold here. So that'll put me at 5.
All right. Reinforcement phase, I will purchase. I'll purchase the Sentry 2. So that's going to drop me down to 1 gold. I'm just going to walk right up, swing with a melee attack, and then get a kill.
Get rid of that pesky Elemental.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
So I'm at 19 points right now, and if I can get that G2 eliminated, I would reach 25 to win the game. But Jason's not that far off.
I'm at 15 now.
So it's a close game right now. All right. So now let's go ahead and count up the resources we get. I get the corner gold mine, so I get 2. Dwarf Warrior's on its home terrain, 3. I'm the general, 4. That puts me up to 11. And I get 1 mana. That puts me at a measly 1 mana. I'm going to need a little more than that if I want to figure out a way to win this
smoothly. All right, so I'll get 1 gold for the G2, 2 for the gold mine, 1 for myself. So that will be 4 total. That puts me up to 5, almost where I need to be. And then 2 more mana, I'm up to 14.
Nice. All right, so with the Battle Mage, I'm going to recruit a unit. I'm going to recruit a 1 gold unit, which will put me down to 10. And that is the Mana Wing Aku. It's just simply a little parrot that generates some additional mana, which is what I really need. And the Battle Mage is going to actually stay exactly where she is at.
Okay.
Now we have a rank tie. I now have a captain, so you can see how the rank cycle can change. I'm going to... what am I going to do?
I'm curious.
I'm going to stay put there, and then now Jason's G2 gets to.
All right, so G2's going to move up diagonally 1 and diagonally for another movement. So I'm going to get right in the face of that Battle Mage and see what Pete's got.
Yeah. All right, the Aku's just going to get on the board, and we'll just go there.
Perfect.
End of the round, I'm not going to recruit anything else.
Neither will I. So we'll add them up.
Yep. I pick up 1, 2, 3 mana, which will put me at 5. And then I'll get the 2, 3, 4 gold, which will put me at 15. Nice. So I got plenty of gold, but not enough mana.
All right. So I get 2 more mana, so I'm up to 16. And then for gold, I get 2 for the gold mine, 1 for myself, 1 for the G2. So that's going to put me up to 9 here. So that's exactly where I want to be at this point in the game.
Now you're in much better shape.
Yes.
So all right, so I'm going to go.
Pete's going to start this thing.
Yeah, so let's see. I'm going to have to recruit another unit here. Do I want to do it now? Zermano has a lot of great spell casting units, so the fact that I'm unable to kind of get a lot of mana going is a little bit harmful. What I'm going to do is kind of I guess you could say, a strange-ish. No, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and just cast Ice Missile. Might as well do that. So
Don't blame you.
another one, 1, 2, 3. Let's smack it for 2 damage. It does have natural toughness, which is an ability that allows Jason to ignore 2 damage, but that would be melee damage, and this is spell damage. So fortunately for me, I can do the 2 damage to it. Next up, I still have the ranks. I'm gonna move into the water again, and kind of start trying to go for the gold.
I do not blame you.
And now it's that.
All right. So I'm gonna get right in Pete's face, so that G2 is gonna move up. So I'll move up 1, and then I gotta hit the water. That would end my activation, so I actually cannot.
You cannot attack it. The water spaces are very, very important for Zermano.
Absolutely.
All right, on the Mana Wing Aku, before it activates, I will recruit a unit. I'm gonna recruit the Yakaruna Veteran, and I'm gonna, she's a captain. It's a captain with a rank of 3. It can only move 1, but it does have an ability through water, but that's not really gonna help now. So I'm gonna move 1, and I'm gonna attack for 2 melee damage, which Jason has the option of blocking with natural toughness if he'd like.
I will block it, actually.
All right. So that's a single use ability, which basically means he can use it 1 time per game. Now the Mana Wing is going to get out of here. 1, 2. I really need it to farm some more mana. So, I forgot to. Sorry, let me drop that down to 11 because I recruited the Yakaruna, and I'm not going to recruit anything at the end of round. How about you?
All right, I will purchase during the reinforcement phase. I've been like dying to get this elf out on the battleground, so the elf sharpshooter is finally going to get out. So I have currently 7 gold. Elf sharpshooter would drop me down to 1. So she's going to hit the board, and she has a range of 3. So again, by far one of the best range units in the game. So I'm going to shoot 1, 2, 3 spaces and get rid of that dwarf before Pete gets that gold mine.
Nice. 2 more points for Jay. He's creeping up there. I have an advantage, but I gotta try to finish this out quickly. I don't know if I'll be able to. All right, so now let's count up the gold. I get 1, 2, 3, 4 gold. That puts me back to 15, and I get 1, 2, 3 mana, which is only 3 mana, so that's not quite enough for me to get what I need to get.
I'll get 2 more mana, puts me up to 18. Pete wishes he had that total, but that's another story.
That total.
And then I will get gold here, so I'll get 1 for the sharpshooter, 1 for myself, 2 for the gold mine, puts me up to 5. I don't get gold for the G2 because he is not on my home terrain. You only generate on your home terrain.
Yeah, I think fortunately for me, the rank is going to save the day, as will the battle mage's strength. It's a good unit as a spellcaster and as a fighter. I'm going to slide over here 1 because I hold the rank right now. Oh, if I can get the board to cooperate, but I will do that. I'll slide here and I'll make a melee attack.
Okay.
Which will do 2 more damage. And then the next highest rank is going to be the Yakaruna, and I'm just going to simply attack again diagonally, which will allow me to get the points needed for 6 more points. That's 22, 23, 24, 25 on the dot.
Dude, that was super close.
It was super close. It was one more round, and the sharpshooter would have been wreaking havoc. And if we played to 30, which we normally do, it would be a different story as well. But for the sake of this video, we just decided to go to 25. So
good game,
nice
man.
Good game. Good game.
Nice.